Oh man, this is one of the most embarrassing situations that a man can ever go through, especially someone that's in the public eye, visible. This might sound across misogynistic, but I've noticed that when some of these, modern females want to shine like their partner, let's say their partner is doing good things, they're visible, they're likable, and a lot of people know about them, and no one knows about their wife. They always try to humiliate their husband to get the light on them. This is something that happens. I saw that with Jada Pinkett with Will Smith, where she was dating August, the R&B singer. She was just airing out the dirty laundry out for everyone to see, and it was quite of a disrespect for Will Smith, because Will Smith, I didn't even know what that was going on in Will Smith's private life until she said that. So this is what they do, right? So with her, right, what she's done now, she's got a podcast, and for her to get her podcast popular, because of course the husband's in a podcast as well, which is doing good as well. I've seen the podcast now and then. I think sometimes I see certain guests like, Charlemagne, 50 Cent go into the podcast. So the podcast is doing good, bringing in the numbers. So they want to compete, right? So to compete and to get the limelight that the husband is getting, they've come to the conclusion of, disrespecting the husband, especially when a husband is married to this, I wouldn't want to disrespect the wife because it's the wife, but it's a modern females, and you guys already know how I feel about these modern females. Some of them are just 304s pretending they're traditional women. They have to, disrespect their man, so a lot of people can be talking about them to draw their attention to whatever podcast she's got going on. And my thing is this, when I see things like that and I see men that still sticking with their wife, I think to myself, to what cost? I want you guys to listen to this TikTok that I stumbled on the net and how she was speaking. And this is a man's wife, speaking like this on the internet. You can, be the judge for yourself, actually.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So for context, I went to college from 2011 to 2016. The top 4 songs when I came back for my sophomore year: Click, Pop That, Bands Make Her Dance, Birthday Cake, the 2 Chainz, Birthday, It's Your Birthday. I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses. I was shopping at Rainbow. I was eating buffalo chicken wraps every day. I was straightening my hair with my French tips. You could not tell me nothing. And I had a roster of guys that I would rotate through. So it's sometimes it literally hurts my heart. And when the nostalgia is that painful, guess what I have to watch? This. It's the only thing that'll give me a little quick fix.
That's crazy, don't you think? I feel like these guys, they do it to themselves, You see the signs from early, just because of your weakness. This is the type of monsters that you guys, grow and develop into this type of human being. You've been trying to hide the women that you had for the whole world, and at some point the real self is going to come out to the fact that they're going to humiliate you and make you look soft. Because I think sometimes when this guy talks, especially in his podcast, he makes him sound like he's a real alpha male, or I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but but see, with me, I've got this radar where I can see through bullshit. You know what I'm saying? A man's woman is a reputation of themselves. So whatever your woman does out there in public, especially when she's trying to belittle you, it shows the type of person you are in real life. You know what I mean? And it's a shame that this is actually coming into surface, because as a comedian, you wouldn't even want to be the center of jokes when you're the one that's supposed to be giving out the jokes. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So with Akaash, you've taken one of the biggest L possible, and this is why I love my channel, because I want to actually make this an example for a lot of you guys. So the reason why it's hard for some people like him to actually break through is because, you see, once you marry these modern females and their ideology, they have won, and they will disrespect you because there's nothing you can do. Some people might say that, it's probably a publicity stunt, she's trying to get the clout. It doesn't matter. You're not finna disrespect me just because you want to make money. I am not selling my integrity and my soul just for the primary fact that you want the data to make money. Because someone might say, well, they probably trying to, nah, they're not trying to play nothing. She's disrespecting my man in public because my man's a simp, period. You can't tell me you're not a simp. You feel me? There's a saying, and I love the saying by LL Cool J. He said it in one tune, the man makes the money never make the man. These guys are made by money. They don't have no character about them. They don't have no balls about them. And they've been leading with the wallet ever since. I actually saw a video of her talking about she does not cook or clean for her man.
Story time of why me and my husband broke up before we got married and why it ended up being the best decision we ever made. For those of you who are new here, hi, my name is Jasleen. I'm a stay-at-home wife, but I don't cook or clean because I don't feel like it. Right. And my husband is a full-time stand-up comedian and he buys me lots of nice things.
Proudly said it on the net. So like, you know, this is when I can say, you know, a lot of you guys deserve what you get because you don't do and stand up for what's right. If you don't stand up for what's right, you're going to pay the price for not standing up for what's right. Do you know? And so you can call it what it is. You know, I think to myself, when I see situations like this, especially, you know, these individuals as well, I don't really know her name like that. I think it's Jesseline. Like I said, I don't really care because I'm not really too good with names. You know what I mean? But when I see situations like this, I see a man that's just weak. You know, you failed. It don't matter how successful you are in real life or, you know, how much money you've made. If your personal life ain't shit, you ain't shit because at least that you had the ability to control that into how you want it to be. When it comes to sustaining success and wealth, you can't control that. The only thing that you can just have is faith and put in the hard work until the Most High decides to bless you, you know? But when it comes to your personal life, that should already have a leadership embedded skill in you. If you don't have that in you, you are a weak man. And it's easy for you to be bought. Simple, you know? Because it's crazy because like I've seen this all the time. Like even with Steph Curry's wife, she does the same shit to Steph as well. So I look at Steph and think Steph's a simp as well. How you gonna be with a woman like that that's disrespecting you in public? Will Smith as well, same thing, simp as well. How you gonna be with a woman like that that's disrespecting you in public? Do you get what I'm saying to you? Because then you can't act like you're this type of masculine guy with other guys and your woman is disrespecting you in public. And majority of the time, this is what's happening with, you know, some of these, you know, celebrities where their wife they're with wants to have the same light as them. So for them to get the light as their husband, they feel like they have to disrespect their husband in public because obviously their husband is the one that's more visible so they can get to where they need to get to. This is actually why I always say that when you're with someone, you don't have to set the boundaries from early. Yo, who's the breadwinner and who's the person that's going to take a back seat to make sure the family's straight. This conversation is important to have, especially in this day and age that we're living in. Because, you know, with lack of communication, confusion can happen, you know. And sometimes I always say it as well, especially majority of the time with these modern females as well, I feel like they're generally just jealous of the man. And they feel like they could achieve it as well. And they feel like you're holding them back. And because of the hate they got for you, they're going to try to put dirt on you. Guys, I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
God gave me grace. God gave me style. God gave me grace. God put a smile on my face. God made me smile on my face. God made me shine like the sun. God made me shine like the sun. Sometimes I feel like I'm the one. Sometimes I feel